Gym owners or online fitness coaches, if you are struggling to consistently post content without hiring an expensive team or just simply burning out, then in this video, I'm going to show you my plug and play system that allows me to consistently generate high quality scripts for all of my talking head videos. This system has no fluff and no bloated, overcomplicated systems. It is as simple as possible. Now, we all know that creating content is key. If you're not educating your audience, then you are simply falling behind. But trying to run a business and juggle content creation alongside of it is a grind, and hiring a team is expensive, and just trying to wing it, you waste your time. But the biggest bottleneck that people encounter is trying to consistently produce solid scripts that actually convert your audience into customers. But this is exactly what this system fixes. So in this video, I'll show you the exact system that I use to generate high quality, punchy scripts that give as much value as possible, but they do it fast and they save me hours and hours every single week. It's simple, it's repeatable, and it just works. So with that said, let's get into it. Okay, so here we are. So this is basically where everything happens. This is the main thing that you're going to be using on a daily or every other day or once a week. Depends how you want to use this system. But this is the table where everything comes in and goes out. So there's 4 simple columns here. We have our content source link. We have the time that it was created. That's simply used for the automation. We have the status, whether we want to actually action it, whether it's been made or whether there was an error during the creation of the short form script. And then finally, we have the actual short form script itself. So the whole thing that this works on is some sort of content source link. So this can be a blog. It can be some piece of academic literature, a journal, a new scientific finding when it comes to health and fitness. It could be a tweet. It could be an email that you receive. As long as it is some sort of information that has a web link to it, then this is going to work. The best use case, I think, are going to be blogs. So if you're in the fitness industry, then hopefully you're continuously looking to improve your knowledge when it comes to health and fitness so that you can provide the best service possible. So basically what this allows you to do is keep an eye out for new information that you think is useful or would be of value to the people that you serve or to your audience. You simply put it into this table, you run the automation, and then a short form script will be created based on this blog, article, journal, whatever it is that you use. So I've done it already here. You can see the test. So I clicked on a blog by someone called Jeff Nippard, who I know from YouTube. So if you look here, this is the actual blog itself. It was about how to build muscle and lose fat at the same time, a step-by-step explain body recomposition. And basically, this is quite a long actual article. You can see there's a lot of information here, really valuable stuff. And you know, if I was an online coach, this could be something that my audience would find interesting. So I simply take the link, copy and paste it into our table here. This is Airtable. If you're not aware, this is the platform that we're using. This is a free account. Anyone can make it. You can use Google Sheets, but Airtable just allows you to format things nicer, and you can actually have the scripts appear. You can read them more easily compared to a Google Sheet. So that's why I prefer Airtable. But anyway, let me just show you this in action. So if we go and we try and find some sort of blog or article that we think our audience would find value, that's obviously related to fitness. Okay, so here we are. I've simply typed in blog about the benefits of daily steps for fat loss. Okay, and there are going to be a wealth of things here. So Juniper, fat loss company, InBody USA, this is obviously a blog, NHS, The Independent. So there is so many different things that we can pick from here. So let's go for the NHS, because we know we can trust the information coming from the NHS, well, at least hopefully. And yeah, so let's pretend that we have read this, we understand it, we think this is going to be of value, how to stay motivated. Sure, this could work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, copy the link, come back to our Airtable, add a row, simply paste it in. The time that it is created will automatically show after a while, and then we want this to then get processed. Okay, so this is going to stay here until we run our automation, and then once it has then been processed by the automation and the short form script has been generated, that will automatically tick over from process to success, like the one in the top. Okay, so that is all you need to do. And then we need to move over to make.com, which is where the actual automation has been created. Okay, so here we are in make.com, and as you can see, there are 4 modules here, and I have designed this in a way so that it is as easy to run as possible. Now, of course, you can have super elaborate, very complex short form content creation scenarios where it not only takes care of idea generation and script creation, but it actually creates an AI video of you, and it creates an AI version of your voice. It creates these videos and then automatically posts them to your social media. But I think there can be situations where you almost rely on automation too much. So in my opinion, the AI generated videos, they don't look realistic. And to me, once you realize that the videos that you're watching are just simply created by AI, it sort of takes away the actual value that you're trying to spread. Because as much as we could put these scripts that we're creating through HeyGen and create AI videos, if I see that a video is made by AI, then I'm going to assume that the content is just not as valuable to me. But when I see it being delivered by a real person that sat in front of a camera and thinks, I'm going to take my time out to record this video, speak it into the camera, and then share it to my audience, that just adds more oomph to the actual value that they're trying to provide. So for that reason, I don't automate the whole thing. I just like to keep it just to the script, and then you can do the rest the manual way or the traditional way, or however you want to call it. Also, that is quite complicated. It can sometimes be quite costly, whereas a lot of people just simply want to know what they should talk about. They pick up a phone, record it, add some subtitles maybe, and then they post it to their social media, and that's all they need to do. And that's, as long as you're providing value, that's all you need to do as a gym owner or an online coach. It doesn't need to be fancy. So this cuts rid of all of those sort of over complex systems, and this keeps it to 4 modules. This is very basic, and this is going to be something that pretty much anyone can set up. Okay, if you're new to make.com, which is this no code automation tool that is free to use also, you could come in and you could make this as your very first scenario, and it would be fairly easy to do. Okay, so the first module here is we're watching for records. So basically, when new records come in and the status equals process, like we set just now, then it knows that it needs to take action on those rows or those records. So once we press run once, it sees all of the rows that have process in the title. It will then take those links or the content within those links through to ChatGPT, and this first module simply summarizes it. So you can see the prompt here, simply summarize the article, the following URL into 3 to 5 key findings. Okay, so then this allows us to take a more condensed, more concise paragraph, few sentences into our second ChatGPT module, and this is where the actual script is created. So we've given it some guidelines here on how we want the script to be created. So obviously we've given it some platforms, so it has more context. We've given it a general script structure that we want it to follow. We've then given it some sort of key information in what we want it to generate. So make it educational, concise, and provide as much value as possible. And then of course we give it the actual summary that the first ChatGPT module created. Just some tips when it comes to the prompt here. Keep it short and concise. Don't overwrite. A lot of these sort of prompt engineer platforms where you can ask for a type of prompt and it gives you it back, they can have really bloated prompts, and a lot of people think the more information that I give, the better. Now, for certain tasks and for certain scenarios, yes, that is absolutely correct. You want to give it as much information as possible to get the best output. But in these types of automations where you're asking it for scripts, you know, lots of people give loads of instructions, and sometimes ChatGPT gets inspiration from your prompt and thinks, oh, they've written a lot for the prompt, so I'm going to write a lot for the script. Now, if we're doing a YouTube script or whatever, then maybe that would work. But for short form, where we want to be speaking for 30 seconds to a minute, we don't want it to go on. So we don't want to write too much on the prompt, because sometimes ChatGPT gets confused. It takes inspiration from what you've written and sort of matches that similar kind of length. Also, people give examples. Again, this just adds words, it adds bulk. And sometimes ChatGPT can also gather too much inspiration from the examples, where it basically just swaps little words in and out, or it will copy the opening and then you'll just get the same hook for every single script. So I'd say avoid examples. Avoid writing too much, keep it concise, and then any sort of alterations that you want to do, you can then edit the actual script that it makes rather than trying to edit the prompt. This just works well for us. We have tested this, and this was the best solution that we have come to. And then finally, it takes the actual result and it puts it back into the Airtable so that we can read it nice and easy. And then this final one also updates the status of the table. So anyway, just to recap, we've given the URL, we've clicked process, the date, time created has now filled it in. So all we need to do here is run the actual automation. So let's click run once and you can see it working here. So it has identified the new row, it's summarized, it's created the script, it's put it in. So now when we go back, we can see here that it is in there. So the status has changed from process to success, which is good. We know that the automation has run smoothly, and then we can click in here. And this is another reason why I like using Airtable, because we can sort of get it up in its own little box. And then it does mean that when you come to record each of your scripts, rather than looking in the actual cell that you have to do within Google Sheets, you can just read it simply from here. And also you have complete customization ability here. So if you don't like that ending sentence, you can simply get rid of it. Okay, so, and you can see here, ready to level up your health and fitness game. It includes a hook. Obviously we told it to, but this is a fairly decent hook. Okay, and then here we can see all the value. So aim for at least 55 minutes brisk walk per day to maximize those benefits. You know, so this is actionable stuff that has value that you can give to your audience, and you can see that this only took us a matter of minutes. So then what you could do is either, if you are someone that is actively reading new research and literature when it comes to fitness, then this is going to be even easier because you're already digesting the content. You just simply need to copy and paste the bits that you like into this table, run it every time you need to record new scripts or record new videos, or if you have it set up whereby you have one day every week where you record, you can do it this way. And this is the beauty of it, is it is flexible to your routine. Okay, the fact that it is slightly more manual is it allows you to sort of create your own routine when it comes to filming the scripts, generating the scripts, and actually posting everything. So like I say, this allows you to instantly create high quality scripts from sources or about topics that you actually want to speak about. Another problem that comes with these fully automated systems is ChatGPT or some sort of webhook or some sort of scraping bot is going to go out there and try and identify topics that it thinks you're going to like, or that it thinks your audience is going to like. And a lot of the times it will come back with content or topics that just simply don't resonate with either you or your audience, or you just think this is fairly basic stuff, I don't really want to speak about this on my channel or on my page. But this way, you are able to cherry pick the topics that you want to speak about. So it's that automatic filtering system where you have complete control over the topics that you're going to speak about. So again, for that reason, that's why I like this. It's simple, it's repeatable, it works. You are able to have complete control over what you speak about. And that's why this system works really well for us. So hopefully you found this useful. Hopefully you can see the value in it. Like I say, this is an extremely simple scenario to build out in Make. You can see all the different sections, so you can go back and watch the video, look at how I've set things up, and you can do that yourself. If you are struggling to set it up, then AI itself is actually a really good tutor. So you can just go to it with questions. I'm not sure what this means. What do I need to do to set this up and make sure everything funnels through? And more often than not, AI gives you really comprehensive answers. So you can simply follow along step by step and actually build this out yourself and have AI as your tutor or your teacher that holds your hand along the way. So that's something to keep in mind if you are looking to build this out, or if you want to add extra steps so it's slightly more complex but suits your business better, then of course you can do that. But this is the main structure, and this is what works really well for us. So if you enjoyed this and you found it useful, give it a like. And if you want to understand more ways to market your fitness business through effective marketing, then click on the video on the screen now.